This next video is going to talk about how to care for your trumpet. Now, some of you may have noticed already that your valves might be a little sticky or slow to come up, or they don't come up at all. That is normal. It happens to brass instruments, specifically the trumpet and the French horn and a baritone, which looks like a big trumpet that goes up and down instead of out like that. But any instrument, brass instrument that has valves will have sticky valves from time to time. It's very simple to take care of, but it is important to know a couple things about that. So, in your case, you should have a brand new bottle of valve oil. All you have to do, take off the top of the valve oil, have a rag on your lap to catch anything that drips. You can't see it, but I'd have a rag right here. Unscrew the valve cap. So if you look right here, all I have to do is twist right here until it comes off. Pull the valve out. Now you can set the trumpet down for a second. And look, there are holes in the side right here on this silver part. Don't put any oil up on this part because you could damage the spring that helps the valve go down. It's just this bottom part right here with all the holes. And all you have to do is put a couple drops. You don't have to give it a bath in oil or anything. Just a couple drops go on the side right here. And then you go to put the instrument back. Now, it's very important that you put the valve in the right way. Now, I was using my own trumpet right here, but I'm going to show you what it should look like in your trumpet. So, we're going to take out the valve right here. We're going to put a couple drops of valve oil on it. And now, look at the side right here. There's a number. Number's 2. I don't realize it's flipped in the video. But number 2, that means it's the second valve. So it's going to go in the second valve slot. Make sure that number is facing towards you, where facing towards the mouthpiece. Otherwise, when you put the valve in, it's not going to line up properly with the rest of the instrument, and the sound isn't going to be able to go through. So it's going to either sound like your trumpet has a stuffy nose, or you're not going to be able to get any sound out whatsoever. And then, if you look inside the valve, it's hard to see in this video, but there's a little notch inside. That's where this little piece of plastic right there should line up. So you put the valve back in the trumpet, make sure the number is facing you, twist the cap back in place. If you don't line it up properly, it'll take you a second or two. Once that's in, just give the valve a little twist to make sure it locks in place, and then you're ready to go. Like I said, if you don't put the valve in the right way, you're not going to be able to get any sound out of the instrument. So let me demonstrate what it should sound like when it's in properly. And now, I'm going to deliberately put my valve in the wrong way. It sounds terrible, right? That's because the holes aren't lined up properly, so the air can't get through the instrument the way it's supposed to. So again, find the number on the side of the valve, turn it so it's towards you. Make sure the valve is locked in place properly. Just give it a little jiggle. If it doesn't move around much, it's locked in place properly. And then you should be all set to go. Now, you've probably noticed that there's a couple other things in your case. Namely, this thing. This is called a snake. It's just a cleaning cleaning tool. You may have seen it somewhere else in your house because they're sometimes used to clean out drains. These are specific for your instrument. So all you have to do, unwind the snake. It's a very, very long tool. And all you need to use it for is to clean out slides, because they get gunky sometimes. So you can clean it out here, right inside where you put the mouthpiece. Just push it through, take it out. Should get some of the gunk and the moisture from inside it out. Not a big deal. You can also take out these slides right here, and you can clean the inside of it, as it will wrap around naturally. Or you can just stick it into each end like I did just now. So you can clean out those slides inside the trumpet itself. You don't have to do that too frequently, maybe once a week, if that. But the more important one to be aware of is just the valves, because the valves will get sticky pretty frequently. So you have to oil the valves at least once or twice a week, clean out the other slides maybe once every other week, something like that. There's one more thing about cleaning the trumpet that you should see. On your trumpet, you're going to have this slide right here, which is called a tuning slide. It comes in and out. It gets the instrument in tune, which means sounding correctly with the other instruments. This slide should also be oiled, but we don't use regular valve oil on it because that is specifically for the valves. Instead, we use what's called slide grease. Now, I have ordered slide grease. It's not quite here yet, but it should be here by the end of next week. And when that comes, I'm going to show you how to properly care for your tuning slide. But for now, all I want you to do is to pull the slide in and out just to keep it moving, okay? I will show you in class next week how to grease the slide when it gets here. So to sum up, oil your valves at least once a week to keep them fresh and not sticky. Make sure the number on the valve, put the valve in the right slot, and make sure the number is facing you so that you can get the sound out properly. When the slide grease that I have ordered gets here, I will show you how to grease the slides. And then you should also use the snake to clean out the slides and inside the instrument. The last thing, and this isn't super important because it won't affect how the trumpet sounds, it just affects how it looks, is you might have a polishing cloth in your case as well. All you have to do is take that and wipe down the outside of the instrument. Do that as much as you feel necessary. Like I said, it doesn't affect how the instrument sounds, it just affects how it looks. Okay? Thank you very much for watching this video. Please let me know if you have questions or if you're having issues or you can't get the valves back in properly. I know it's a little tricky to get used to at first, but I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions either through comments on the video, posts in Google Classroom, or in person next week. So good luck, make sure you care for your instrument properly, and happy practicing.